It could work. It's very interesting because the Saudis were the first foreign patrons of the Taliban. They sort of welcomed them. They saw them as the new way ahead. They particularly liked their austere religious attitude. The government itself did not help the Taliban get started, but there were enormous campaigns of collecting boxes here in Jeddah, Riyadh, everywhere. Sheikh bin Baz, who was then the Grand Mufti of Saudi Arabia, organized collections to support the Taliban. So things started off very well between the Saudi government and the Taliban. The Saudis were the very first government, along with the UAE, to recognize the Taliban. And then things went wrong when Osama bin Laden landed in Afghanistan in the mid-1990s, and sort of without really the Taliban's full consent, started on his campaign against the West, and became a guest of the Taliban rather against their will. And that was when the Saudis and the Taliban parted company.
Now, the Saudis are using this as one of the conditions to helping Afghanistan. You've got to get Osama bin Laden for us. I mean, how realistic is that? How seriously, therefore, are they taking this offer?
Well, there's two things really involved in this. One, yes, ideally, they'd like, everybody would like the Taliban to help get Osama bin Laden. There's a stage less than that. They can say to the Taliban, look, you've got to come out publicly and say that you are no longer the shelterer, you are no longer the host to bin Laden. And if they do that genuinely, then that is one step forward in progress. And really, I'm not an expert on American policy, but that's really why the Americans are in Afghanistan, to get Osama bin Laden. The Taliban don't really have a foreign policy that threatens the West. The West, and particularly America, do not like the Taliban's rules about women. But to be quite cynical, if the Osama bin Laden affair can be dealt with, I'm pretty sure the Americans will let the Taliban get on with what they want to do in Afghanistan.